Benefits of hiring a birth injury lawyer. What is a birth injury? A birth injury is a physical damage that a baby suffers before, during, or soon after the labor and delivery process. Also referred to as birth trauma, birth injuries can occur naturally or in instances of medical malpractice. Most birth injuries are minor and resolve over time, but some can be more serious and cause lifelong damage. The most common birth injuries are brachial palsy, caput succedaneum, facial paralysis, subconjunctival hemorrhaging, bruising and forceps marks, cephalohematoma, fractures. What are the causes of birth injury? A birth injury can occur due to natural labor processes or medical negligence. Birth injuries occur most often during the child's transit through the birth canal. They are more common when labor is long or intensive. The birth happens prematurely, the baby is very large, or when devices such as vacuum or forceps are used. Newborns can suffer physical injuries during birth that are not due to medical malpractice. This is often because of the size of the baby or its position during labor. Conditions that can make birth difficult and possibly cause birth injury include extended or difficult labor or childbirth, the disproportionate shape of the mother's pelvis, the baby weighing over 8 pounds, 13 ounces, premature birth. Babies born before 37 weeks have more fragile bodies. Breech presentation. The baby is born buttocks first. Some birth injuries occur due to improper delivery and medical malpractice. When medical professionals fail to take proper caution, miss a diagnosis, or make mistakes during delivery, the child can suffer. Medical negligence that can cause birth injuries includes improper prenatal care, contagions in the birth room, delayed treatment, vital signs not being monitored, improper use of pharmaceutical intervention, negligent vacuum or forceps extraction. What is a traumatic birth? Traumatic birth refers to instances of labor that cause physical and psychological damage to the child or mother. This encompasses deliveries involving complications, death, or the use of instruments in difficult labor. Some studies have shown that up to 1/3 of women experience a traumatic birth of some sort. A traumatic birth can result in long and short-term complications and birth injuries. Potential labor issues include false labor prior to real labor, premature membrane ruptures or leakage, drastic reduction in child's heartbeat, medication-accelerated labor, umbilical cord around the baby's neck, very long or short delivery times, cesarean section, epidural anesthetics, vacuum or forceps extraction, severe slowing or stopping of contractions. Cerebral palsy birth injury. Cerebral palsy is a developmental disorder that can affect movement and muscular development. It's caused by damage to the motor cortex, the part of the brain responsible for muscle control and coordination. Children with cerebral palsy often struggle with walking, balance, maintaining posture, and fine motor skills. Certain children are at a greater risk of developing cerebral palsy at birth, including those born prematurely, newborns with low birth weight, cases of extended or difficult labor, newborns with meningitis or another brain infection, or in cases of fetal distress. Brain damage from birth injury. Brain damage from a birth injury can severely affect a newborn throughout the rest of his or her life. Birth injury brain damage can range from minor to severe and can include cognitive impairments, developmental delays, seizures, and in severe cases, death. Some instances of brain damage birth injuries are not immediately detectable. Autism and birth injuries. Autism spectrum disorders encompass a number of developmental disorders characterized by problems with communication, social interaction, and restricted and repetitive behavioral patterns. There's no single cause of autism, and the disorder can develop from a combination of genetic and non-genetic factors. A birth injury can contribute to autism, and research has shown that children exposed to complications before and during birth are more likely to develop ASD. What causes fetal stress? Fetal stress describes complications the child faces prior to or during labor. Typically, the term is used in cases where the fetus receives inadequate oxygen or has an abnormal heart rate. Fetal stress can cause complications during delivery and lead to long-term problems. Handling a birth injury lawsuit can be difficult. At TorHoerman Law, we understand the emotional and financial toll it can have on you and your family. Our team of experienced birth injury lawyers will work with you to help you navigate the legal challenges while receiving compensation for your suffering. We are happy to discuss your potential birth injury lawsuit for free and with no obligation. Contact us today to learn more about how a TorHoerman birth injury lawyer can help you. Hiring a personal injury attorney to represent you in your birth injury lawsuit is the best way to ensure a positive outcome for you and your family.